Hi folks, this is Chris Voss from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. Coming in here with another blog post. One thing I want to share with you. About 2 months ago, I started going down to Los Angeles, and mainly to build up my base down there, build up the tweet ups that I wanted to have down there on a regular basis, in addition to ones we do here in Las Vegas. And really wanted to build a base where I can do more social media consulting down there, and just have more fun down there. I had one core friend down there when I started this little thing. I knew some people on Twitter, and within 2 months, I built up a great network of wonderful friends. Of course, people on Twitter as part of it, but also friends in the promotions business, club owners, restaurants, etc., etc. It seems like an endless stream of a great networking of people that I've built. And I've been very lucky because it seems like I met some really core quality people from the get-go, and their internal networks, of course, have been very core quality people. So I've been very blessed in that realm. But I'm usually really good at picking good people and staying away from, let's call them interesting people. So the thing I want to talk to you about is what really helped me successfully in that environment. Now, Los Angeles is not an environment that's usually, let's just say it's very tough. It's very fast-paced there. It's very cutthroat. I think maybe that's the word I'm looking for. I went into Los Angeles to build my network down there with the basis of, what can I do for you? I'm Chris Voss. Here's what I'm very good at. How can I contribute to what you're trying to do to make it better and to make it more successful? And I'll freely give my time and advice. There's no hitch to it. There's no, well, if you do this for me, then I'll expect you to do something for, if I do something for you, I'll expect you to do something for me. So I went into it with that sort of parameters, and that's how I do most businesses. The one thing you learn if you're successful as a business leader is to sell vision to people. And the vision, a lot of times that you have to sell them, is to help contribute to them and get them to contribute to you. But a lot of times you have to give first. So that's pretty much what I've always built with my businesses, what I've built with the people that I've made strategic alliances with, is being able to firm up our relationships ahead of time, being able to give. Now, there's an old karma thing that if you give more than you take, you will probably get more back, and it's very true. And so I always look to be in a situation of giving and helping, and what can I do? So we went down to Los Angeles back in, I think, February or something, is when I started going down there, and really offering up my services. How can I help you guys make things better with what you're doing? How can I contribute to these ideas? The people down there were very welcome. I think they were a little surprised. They're like, you're willing to help us out, and you don't want to get paid? You don't want to get any money for this? I said, no, I'm building my network down here. I'm making an investment. And I think that's the other thing a lot of people don't get when you build strategic alliance and relationships. You have to invest in them. I've spent several thousands of dollars building my network in Los Angeles without any thought to, okay, how am I going to make money off this? Now, there is a game plan, of course, and an expected ROI, but I've been in business long enough to know that if I do certain things will happen, and of course I will make certain things happen. So I've been down there spending a lot of money, investing in helping people, investing in my network that I wanted to build down there, etc., and working very hard at it, spending a lot of time doing it. But I didn't sit around going, okay, when do I get my buck back? Okay, well, I'm spending all this money and, I'm not getting anything in return. Everything I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 months is about giving, investing, building something, building these relationships with these folks. And that's one of the most important things that people don't get. Everyone seems to be so angled towards the quick buck, the easy money. And I'm going to give another blog post here in a bit about business partners and killing the golden goose before, right after it lays the first golden egg. But we'll get into that later. But building strategic alliances, you need to invest. And a lot of people don't get that. They're just so one-dimensional where they're like, okay, I do this and I want to get paid. Give me paid. Blah, 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 blah. And they don't know how to build relationships. They don't know how to build the long-term bases for what they want to achieve in their strategic alliances. So make sure that when you build stuff with people, especially if you're building your business, there's an investment period. There's a time where you're going to have to invest and you're going to have to give. Not all my investments that I give to and put money into pan out. Not all of them turn out profitable. Not all of them turn out the way sometimes I wanted to. Sometimes you invoke with bad partners or something, and they go their other way. They don't work or whatever the case may be. So the key is you've got to keep giving. You've got to keep expanding what you're doing. And until you really give, you're not going to get anywhere. And I think one of the things that has made me successful, if I can brag on a little bit, is because when I went down to LA, I said, look, how can I help you? And people were pretty shocked. They're like, this is LA. What do you want? You want something? What do you want? I'm like, no, I just want to build my network. I want to get to know a lot of great people. And from there, I'll be doing some of my business. But let me help you with what you're doing. Let me use my power through my Twitter accounts, my Facebook, my exposure to advertise and market what you're doing. And let's see how we can work together in a strategic alliance. And even when these companies had budgets, they were calling me going, hey, we do have a budget. Do you want to get paid? Do you want a portion of getting paid for, this thing you're doing or that thing you're doing? I said, no, I don't want to get paid. I refused to be paid, okay? So, in essence, it was more important for me to build the network and the goodwill. In fact, a lot of people that have contacted me have really been surprised that I was willing to offer that. And I've said, look, if there's a way I can help you with what you're doing, maybe someday you can help me, but we'll see what that someday is. Now, I don't expect people to help me. There's been some people that have failed, and I've said, hey, can you help me promote this event? And, I promoted a couple of their events, and they didn't want to promote mine. They obviously didn't end up helping me out as much as I gave to them, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. I made the events great. I made the productions for what we've done in LA so far great. And that's the most important thing. There's a certain loss provision that I have to take where I just have to go, there's certain people that aren't going to reciprocate. There's certain people that aren't going to give back. And I'm not going to sit around and go, well, I did this and you didn't do that. And so what I'm trying to share with you is that mentality that you can't have where you've got to go, look, I'm going to make investments in a lot of different places. Some are going to pay off, some aren't. And, from my experience, we ran a lot of different companies, invested in a lot of different companies where we were running a solid 3 companies. So, we learned that there were certain things we could invest in. There were certain things that we would invest in, maybe fold them into a business or just take their furniture or whatever the hell they had as their assets. So a lot of times you make multiple investments, and they may not turn out, but the key is to work them as hard as you can and give as much as you can and, give as much goodwill for the best. It's good karma. So I hope this is a lesson or something that can help you with your business, your life, etc., etc. Give first. Don't sit there and be one-dimensional where you're like, well, if I do this, then I must have that, and blah, 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 blah. Successful investors, Warren Buffett's of the world, the angel investors, venture capitalists and stuff, they invest usually on a 10-year plan where they're not going to get their money back for most likely 10 years. They understand the principle of making those huge investments and the fact that probably when it pays out 5 to 10 years from now, it's going to make a much higher return. And I think that's what differs a lot of people with the shorter mentality of money than a longer successful mentality of money, is they don't see the long-term vision of those elements and long-term investments that you have to make, where you have to give first. And then if everyone contributes enough, in the end, you'll get stuff. So anyway, take a look at what you do in life. I met so many people that are so narrow-minded and they spend so much time trying to make sure that $1 or that 1 penny is repaid. You can't go through life that way. You've got to make your investments first. You've got to build goodwill first. And if you build goodwill with the right amount of people, it will come back to you. Not 100%, but it'll come back to you. And the part that will come back to you will be definitely worth it. I guarantee it. Anyway, thanks for coming by thechrisvossshow.com and spending some time with me. And be sure to check out my boot camp program that's come out. We're going to be doing a boot camp to teach people how to do success in social media, and they'll be spending some personal time with me. And then we also have a strategy course that's on the website. You should check that out too. The prices for all my stuff seem to be going up the more busier I'm getting, so capture them now while you can. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.